So you bought a used car, congrats. And then you want to plan on keeping this for a while. But here's the thing about used cars, you don't know how the previous owner had taken care of it. But so here's a couple of things that you can do to make sure that it does last you a long time and that you're doing your best that you can to ensure that it lasts a long time. So the first thing is a good quality engine oil. There's two parts of an engine oil. One is engine oil that cleans, and the other is engine oil that gives wear protection to the engine. So if you have no idea how your previous owner took care of the car, or they took care of the car with very long oil change intervals, I would recommend you first use one that has a high detergent property. So there's this oil that I use. This is Valvoline, Resto, and Protect. So this is oil with a molecule that they have a patent on that they haven't made public. So this is supposed to remove any sludge within the engine and rings that are stuck because of carbon buildup or sludge buildup. It is supposed to make it loose and make the engine run a lot better. Now, I used this on an SUV I bought where the previous owner had gone very long periods of time without changing oil, which is about 12,000 miles. I personally don't like it. So I started using this oil, and already the engine has quietened down quite a lot. And I've seen improvements. Now, this oil is not for European vehicles. It is not certified for Euro cars, but I used it on my BMW as well. So I have a 325i E93, and I started using this on the BMW, and I've seen good results, even though it is not certified as a Euro engine. So that's one you can do with engine oils. The second is with engine oils. If you want more, if your engine is really high mileage and you want it to be protected, use an engine with high zinc and boron. So there's two oils that I've seen that has a very high level of zinc. One is M-Soil that is produced in the US, and the other is Penrite. Penrite is produced in Australia. So Penrite has a product called Zinc Plus and Full Zinc. Now, full zinc is really high. It's about 1,300 parts per million of zinc. And Zinc Plus is zinc plus boron. Now, boron and zinc create a layer, a sacrificial layer over the existing metal, and that protects the engine from wear. So what wears is the zinc and not the metal itself. So use something that has a high zinc and boron additive if your engine has really high mileage and gunk is not a problem, sludge is not a problem. The second part of an engine is the transmission. So now what's happening is lots of transmissions are being sold as lifetime fluid. Nothing is lifetime, everything breaks down. If it was lifetime, the logic is you need not have a filter. If you do have a filter, it is not lifetime because it's filtering something. So when I bought my SUV, it had done 80,000 miles, 75,000 miles without a single oil change in the transmission. And I reached out to the dealership and said, hey, I want to change my transmission fluid. And they said, hey, it's lifetime, you don't have to change it. I said, no, I actually want to change it. So that's something that you have to do if you bought a car where they haven't done an automatic transmission fluid change. Get it changed. You've technically got to change it up to 25 to 45,000 miles. 25,000 better, worst case 30, 40,000 miles. So when you do change the oil, I've done extensive research into this because I'm a geek when it comes to these things. I would recommend using an additive, and the best additive that I've come across is a company called LubeGuard. So they've got LubeGuard Red, LubeGuard Platinum, Black, and they've got a shudder fix. So if you have a transmission that is shuddering, maybe at about 30-35 miles, you feel a slight vibration, put the tube of shudder fix. It's about $10-12 US dollars, and use either LubeGuard Red protectant or the Platinum. So if you have shuddering problems, use the LubeGuard Shudder Fix and the Platinum. If you don't have shuddering problems, but you want to ensure that your transmission lasts a long time, remove the pan, if possible, replace the filter, add a bottle of LubeGuard Red, and add whatever ATF fluid needs to be added. Because when you drain the fluid, irrespective of what you do, you can't drain 100% of ATF. You can only drain about 40-50%. So they're still old oil. So this old oil needs additive. So that's why you use something like LubeGuard Red to ensure the frictional capacity, the viscosities are still maintained in the old ATF. So the third bit is fuel. So my previous owner, he's been driving he had a $60,000 car, but he used the cheapest fuel available at the supermarket. So when I bought it, I immediately switched to Caltex that comes with Techron. And when I did buy it, I first went in with this bottle of Techron. So this is a fuel system cleaner. It cleans the injectors, and it does clean. It's supposed to clean, up on top of the system, of the pistons, and it's supposed to give a cleaner burn. You can also use things like this. It's a fuel injector cleaner, plus it has some lubricating properties. And now this is something I bought. This is a 1 quart bottle of Lucas upper cylinder lubricant. The reason I bought lubrication for my fuel and this injector cleaners does an important thing. If the previous owner has been using substandard fuel, definitely use an injector cleaner like Techron, which has really high EPAs, and this will clean the injectors. Run one of these bottles first, and then switch to something that has injector cleaning and a lubrication, or just run this thing. It's supposed to clean and lubricate as well. Lucas is quite a renowned product. So run one of them. The reason I'm running a lubricant in my fuel is because I owned a Mazda RX-8. So it's got this rotary engine, and I remember I did some research when I bought it. This is about 8 years ago, and everybody said add 2-stroke oil. You've got to premix your oil. So I remember pumping fuel at a fuel station and adding oil into the tank, and people went berserk about me adding oil into the fuel tank of a car, and they said, hey, you don't do that. But I told them, hey, it's needed for these type of cars. And I remember the engines ran a lot smoother because everything was lubricated. It felt like it was running on butter. That's I think Jeremy Clarkson quotes it, saying an RX-8, you feel like it's running on butter and not on something as coarse as petrol or diesel. So lubricating the fuel system is a good idea. It's not much. This cost me $30, so about $20 or less, even less than that, and it'll last you a couple of months, I think. So it's a worthwhile investment to make. You don't lose anything. It lubricates at least the fuel pumps, the injectors within, and things like that, and it's supposed to burn cleaner. So do that. The fourth thing is, of course, suspension. Just ensure that when you do buy a used car, make sure that the suspension is good, because the last thing you want is worn out suspension and you having an accident with worn out suspension. Make sure the brakes are good and the suspension is good. So good luck to everybody that's bought a used car, and I hope that these tips have helped you get somewhere along the way. I'll be sharing a lot more tips as I go through different types of experiments with my cars. I've got 3 of them, and I'm trying different tips and tricks with them. I'll tell you how it goes. Next, I'm trying out the Lube Guard shudder fix and the Lube Guard Platinum on my Beamer, because it's developed a bit of a shudder, and I'm going with the Lube Guard Red protectant on the SUV, the Mazda CX-9 that I've got, because it's not been maintained and I want to drop the pan. I've done a fluid change already, but I want to drop the pan, change the filter, and then go in with the whole thing, and then keep draining and refilling a couple of times until I've got some good ATF in it. So good luck to everyone. If you found this helpful, do subscribe and leave a comment on if you thought something was stupid, or if there are suggestions that you do have. Please leave a comment, and I'd love to respond to each and every one of you personally. Thank you.